G'day again. So we've reached the final coding on the signal chain for the UNIPI for the first investigation phase. So I guess we're going to look at what we can next do with this circuit. So we've got the code nailed down as far as setting it so it can detect a target, and we can now experiment with preamps and maybe add some controls as we figure out what controls we're supposed to be controlling. So at the moment we've got the full signal chain working from the TX circuit, which is transmitting this the top yellow trace, which is a sine wave. It would be a half sine wave if we adjusted the CCPI, but the CCPI has been adjusted to basically transmit a full sine wave. So that's at 19.5 kilohertz. And the blue trace is at the input to the ADC. So the RX coil from the double D coil comes straight onto the ADC. We don't process it or anything, we just connect it to the ADC. And that's the blue trace there, and that's about 10 millivolts peak to peak. 10 millivolts per division, 10 millivolts peak to peak, nearly, a bit less actually. And we've got the transmit at 22 volts, sorry, 44 volts peak to peak, probably, 45 maybe, 44 volts peak to peak. And this is the averaged, or this is the output from the integrator. So the integrator is inside the FPGA, so it's a fully digital signal chain. And the integrator is displaying a bit of a ripple there, and it is a hot day outside, and I think I'm picking up the magnetics from a nearby solar inverter, which is on the wall about 10 feet away. So I think that's what's causing that ripple, but I'll do another test tonight when the solar's off and see if that does change. But anyway, that's when you're working with magnetics, these are the things you've got to take into account. We've also got the audio working, which you can probably hear in the background. That's working from this amplifier coming out of the FPGA via that resistor and cap, which is a PWM, an NCO driving a PWM, and the tone sounds all right, I think. I could also, because the integrated display is quite stable, it would be fairly easy to set up a threshold, so you could just beep when, set it to beep when we detect something, but that's something for the future. And connected to the unit, we've got the whoops, can't bring the phone too near the coil. So we've got a 28 centimeter DD MindLab DD coil here, and it's just on a plastic stick sitting in the lab here, so we're going to use that as the coil. So now we've got some targets, and we'll look at the output of the display, and should be able to hear the tone as well. So first we've got hot rock. This is a hot rock. This was found by a GPZ detector, MindLab GPZ, and it cannot be ground balanced out. So it's either got some gold in it or it's a hot rock. I haven't smashed it all open, but I don't think it has got gold in it because it's it has got some magnetic properties. So, and you can see some scintillation there where the probably pyrites or something. But it's definitely this is quite a good hot rock. So we'll just try that first on the coil. So very just a about 5 millimeters from the coil. No detection. Next we'll take our trusty 10x10 silver. So I'm going to get right back from the coil here. So that's as we approach the coil, different distances from nearly out to 1 metre to about 50 centimetres. And now we'll have a look at the non-motion mode. So we'll bring the foil up to around about 50 centimetres from the coil. We'll just hold it there. And you can see that the integrator holds its position. It does not decay. So I'm just holding the foil at a constant 50 centimetres from the coil. Now we'll decrease it to about 25 centimetres. Still holds its position. And the display, you might note, is quite linear too. So the displacement on the integrator is directly proportional to the distance from the coil. This is unlike my previous Pi efforts where the integrator output, well, apart from not being non-motion, was not linear. It was exponential. So we back it back. And we should get another step when the integrator comes back, and then we back it back a bit more. And then we back it back a bit more, and then away from the coil, and we're back to zero. But you can see a clear step response. So this is going to be quite handy in the field for trying to figure out if you've got a target or not, because it's not going to decay away. Now look at the ferrite. So the ferrite gives an opposite response. This is the ferrite. It's an E core. You don't usually see these when you're out detecting, but if you're inside an electronic shop, you might detect a few. Again, we can hold the ferrite at a certain distance, and the output from the integrator and the tone in the target detection will remain constant, and we can step it again. Yeah, off again. All right. Now we've got the what's that other target we've got here? Oh yeah, this small screwdriver. Now this is partly I think it's steel. Well, it's definitely a steel tip, and it's got maybe a die cast body, or is it all steel? Chrome steel. It might be chrome steel. Anyway, will it focus? You're going to focus, camera? Come on. No. All right, there it is. It's a jeweler's screwdriver anyway. So now we're going to present it sideways to the coil. So we're going from about 20 to 15 centimeters here, and it gives a, what do you call, a negative response, I guess, as in the tone decreases. Now we'll present it so that it's perpendicular to the coil, as in like that. We've gone off screen. There we are. And now it's giving the opposite response. So is it because of this little rotary thing on the end, which is kind of like a loop? So is that the thing that's giving the positive response? Who knows at this stage? Anyway, just letting you know that we've basically got a working detector here, and next step is to I think probably see if we can build something we can take out for a field test, because it's certainly getting very interesting. Talk to you again.